No one likes you. Hey guys, what's up? I am back to do the 6th episode Bachelor recap, which literally, you guys, I've been watching The Bachelor since Brad Womack's 2nd season, so let's say like 6 or 7 years. Been watching The Bachelorette for like 5. I don't think I've ever had such a strong physical, visceral reaction to watching any television show, even The Bachelor, ever, like I did last night. The episode almost speaks for itself. It's almost like, what is there that I can say about this? But let's just get into it because holy fuck. The episode starts with them fucking finally going somewhere interesting. And it's Paris. La-di-fuckity-da. That's great. I've been to Paris. No offense to any French people watching. I don't really like Paris. I think Paris is a little gross. There's too much cigarette smoking going on and too many unshaved armpits. To everyone on the show, going to Paris is awesome. I'm like, obviously going to Paris is great. I'm just fucking around because I've been to Paris. I don't really like Paris. But yeah, it's great. You get to see the Eiffel Tower. It's like the most romantic city in the world. Didn't Kanye like propose to Kim in Paris or something? Didn't they do something in Paris, okay? That alone makes Paris like fucking iconic. Forget the fucking hundreds of thousands of years of French history. It's fucking because Kim and Kanye like kiss there. They get to Paris, everyone's excited there in Paris, and they find out that there's going to be a 2-on-1, which is just like instant bum, bum, bum. It's terrifying. You don't want to be on the 2-on-1 because there's a guaranteed 50% chance you're going home, and depending on who you're paired up with, sometimes it's an obvious like 75% chance you're going home, 90% chance you're going home. Because sometimes they put on the 2-on-1 like the obvious winner with the obvious loser just to get rid of the obvious loser. However, this 2-on-1 was not like that, and I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, and we will talk more about that when we get to the 2-on-1. First, we have a 1-on-1, which is with Lauren B, who up until this point I actually really liked. She's pretty, she's normal, she fucking is smart when she talks, she doesn't cause problems with anyone else, she's like a really fucking basic white bitch, you know? Honestly, I think that basic white bitch is Ari's type, considering he was like so in love with Emily Maynard, who is another extremely basic white bitch. I think he just likes the basic blonde white bitches, which if that's the case, please Ari, just come down to FSU. We got plenty of them. He takes Lauren B on a date around fucking Paris. Literally, I don't remember what they did because all I can fucking remember is them sitting awkwardly next to each other on a bench, half cuddling, while Ari asks her the most base level questions and she responds with literal yes or no answers. She's like, yeah, no, wow, okay. Like literally, I feel so bad for Ari because he's already an awkward motherfucker. I think he's kind of strange. I'm not really a big Ari fan. And he's the one that has to lead the conversation with this girl that's literally not even giving him an inch of anything. Like, she's just straight up like, yeah, I, like, fucking, do you not, like, what? Like, cat out your tongue? You can't fucking have a conversation with someone on, like, week fucking 6? Like, you've made it far, girlfriend. You've made it far. You made it to the foreign land. You made it to Paris, and you can't even fucking hold a conversation. Anyway, Ari says that he's like super excited about this date and he's been waiting for this special Paris date just for Lauren, and he makes it really clear that he really likes her. He's like, I'm the one that's nervous because I know that I like you and I can't tell if you like me and I want you to like me and I don't know what's happening here because I'm trying to have a real conversation with you because we're fucking adults that are potentially going to get engaged in another 5 weeks. And you just keep responding to me with weird little grunts. So after that painfully awkward time on the bench, they go to have their dinner, and Ari's straight up like, what the fuck's wrong with you, bitch? Why the fuck aren't you talking to me? I really like you. I think you're super fucking pretty. You're like the only blonde, basic white bitch left, Lauren B. You're really letting me the fuck down right now. And so she's all like, well, I can't open up until I trust someone. which to me is absolutely fucking bullshit. I have no sympathy for this argument unless you tell me some elaborate story from your past or a past relationship that is so mind-fucking that you are now so fucking weird that you can't even keep up a conversation with someone because you can't even talk to them unless you trust them. I call bullshit. I think that is like the biggest cop-out in the world. Half the time someone says they have trust issues, they're just saying they have trust issues for the sake of saying they have trust issues because they know that's a common thing that people fucking say to get out of shit, to make it seem like they're emotionally damaged. No! Were you left at the altar? Like, has anything mind-blowingly shitty happened to you? We all have fucking trust issues. It's the 21st century. All men know how to do is give women trust issues. You're not special. So then Ari's like, okay, I understand like how that's tough for you. If you really do have trust issues, it's hard to open up to someone because you're scared you're gonna get shit on or whatever. So then Ari's like, let me tell you a story about my past to make you feel better. And then Ari goes into this really sad, like actually personal, deep story about how he was with a girl for a long time, most serious relationship, they lived together, she already had children, he impregnated her, but he was always on the road for racing, and then she lost the baby, and she said that she was moving out and didn't want to be with him anymore, and the baby was like the only thing keeping them together. Yeah, that's really fucking sad, and that is a good reason to maybe have trust issues. So now we've just learned something new about Ari. It takes a lot for the Bachelor or Bachelorette themselves to like reveal really personal information about them, but I like it when they do because it makes them seem like more of a real person, and also it's very interesting to see who of the contestants the Bachelor or Bachelorette chooses to divulge this information to because it's really fucking personal. So I applaud Ari for saying something of value, basically, to make her feel better with her trust issues. And then Lauren B kind of turns around and says that her parents are still together, 30 years of marriage, but they fight and have not the best relationship, so growing up in that household was tough for her. Again, another fucking basic blonde white bitch comment. First you say you have trust issues so you can't open up, which we've only heard 476 times before on The Bachelor, and then you say that the reason for your issues is because your parents argued through your life. Bitch, your parents didn't even get fucking divorced, okay? And I'm not trying to be insensitive because there are definitely people whose parents stay together when they should get divorced, so then the kids are growing up in like a little bit of a toxic household because they're viewing the parents argue, hear the parents argue all the time, and that puts a strain on kids, and then kids grow up thinking that it's normal to like argue all the time or whatever with your spouse. So I do understand that in situations like that can be shitty. I don't know exactly Lauren B's family history, you know, so like I'm not trying to be like a bitch by judging that. I just think that her rationale behind being so quiet and awkward when she's a literal front contender is really basic, cliche reasons. And I just wish, like, if you're going to pull the I'm so clammed up I can't talk to you card, that you would share something of like extreme importance or value to make yourself look less fucking stupid. That's just my take on it, y'all. Anyway, he gives her the rose. She stays around, even though it's clear she's not going to win because their chemistry isn't good enough because she's too fucking closed off or whatever her real issue is. But he's so attracted to her, he literally thinks she's one of the like best 3 girls left. So, of course, she gets the rose. Lauren B, I still like you, but I just think you're a little basic and a little boring. Then we move on to the group date because this episode managed to fit a one-on-one, a group date, a two-on-one, and then another one-on-one all in one fucking episode. They go do this like Moulin Rouge thing, so they're going to learn how to do like the can dressed as peacocks, basically is what the fuck they're doing. With their asses out. Peacocks with their asses out. Honestly, the only point of this entire date is for Ari to get to see all of them half naked. So we can see which ass he wants to tap, who has the best abs, whose titties are fake, whose titties are real. You know, like, what the fuck? They all just came out and did a 10-second routine for Ari, half naked as fuck. Like, you can't tell me that there's literally no purpose for that other than he gets to see them, like, naked. Like, we're getting closer to the fantasy suite now. He needs to be able to assess which body he wants to bone. Really wasn't that impressed. Didn't think it was that interesting of a date. The only interesting part was that if you were selected, you would get to perform in the real Moulin Rouge show with Ari, with all the real dancers and actors, whatever, in front of all the people. That's pretty fucking cool. That's literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and that's really cool to be able to say for the rest of your life that you did that. Like, that is fucking cool. So they take off their fucking peacock outfits, and they put on their regular clothes, and they go to have the little group date cocktail thing before he gives out the rose to whoever he wants to give it to. And he literally walks in, sits down with all the girls, and literally says, I just want you all to know, I just want you to really know that whoever gets the rose, it's because I have the best connection with you. Everyone else, don't worry if you were a bad dancer, that doesn't matter. If you don't get the rose, it's because I don't have as good of a connection as you. Like, if you really think about that, like, it's a little fucking ruthless. So he takes off the girls one by one to talk to them, yada, yada, yada. Don't need to talk about that. It's the same fucking conversations every time, making out with the same people every time, weirdly caressing their faces with your fucking weird ass hands, Ari, the whole fucking time. It's pretty basic. There's no drama. No one's hating each other, obviously, because Crystal's not on this date. And they get back together in a group, and Ari's like, okay, I'm ready to give out the rose, again, to who I have the best connection with. Sorry to the other fucking 7 of you. And then he gives it to Becca M, which makes me feel really good because the 22-year-old is pulling through. Like, obviously, she's gonna make it far. She's gonna be, like, in the top 4. It would be so amazing if she won, if the 22-year-old won. I mean, she's not gonna win, but it honestly just, like, personally upsets me because I'm 22 and the person I'm involved with is 35, and I just feel like they're, like, age shaming. I feel like the show is shaming age gaps, you know? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think there's an issue with her being 22, but I am very happy that she got the rose because that means that, like, regardless of whatever the fuck, Ari's still taking her seriously. Not to mention, Becca is one of the best people on the show, okay? Like, I really like her. I think she's really great. I was happy when she got the rose, and I was surprised because when you're on a fucking group date with people like CN and Tia, who are also super gorgeous and super normal and smart and down to earth and cool, I was just really actually shocked that he gave it to Becca. And I'm happy that he gave it to Becca, but, like, I was just a little shocked, like, considering all the people he could have given it to, that he gave it to the 22-year-old. Like, was anyone else just, like, a little bit like, oh my god, he gave it to Becca? Like, not in a bad way, just kind of like, oh my god, you know? Like a surprise. Then Becca, like, cries because Becca's like, oh my god, this obviously means he has the best connection with me. Like, I would probably cry too. So then she gets to go do the can-can in her peacock outfit again with Ari. They do a pretty good job. She wears a cute little blonde wig. Like, literally, she's so fucking cute. Like, people that look super good with the, like, really short little bob, like that fucking 1950s look and, like, the short hair. Like, she is literally killing the short hair game. She's literally someone from the 50s who was just fucking reincarnated in the 21st century. I don't know. And that's that for the group date. Now, considering everything in the episode so far has been completely tame, not a lot of drama, everything's been hunky-dory, no one's been fighting, no one's been crying, it's been totally normal. Now we need something catastrophic to go the fuck down. So we finally have the 2-on-1. Crystal already fucking knows somehow that she's gonna be on the 2-on-1. I mean, it's really not that hard to assume. You are the villain, you get the most airtime because you are shocking and horrible. And you do a lot of fucked up shit. So yeah, you're probably gonna be on the 2-on-1 because that just makes for really good TV. However, Crystal, of course, has the audacity to say in every motherfucking private little interview she has throughout all of last night's episode to make some type of comment about how she's not nervous about being on the 2-on-1 because she knows that she's gonna win, and she knows how great she is, and she knows that she's so fucking sexy, whatever the fuck it is. She just knows that she's got it in the bag. And again, I don't know if Crystal is kind of hamming this whole thing up and being a bitch for the sake of television, and she's kind of like an actress, just one of many blonde, attractive enough, fit LA bitches that wants to be on TV. I don't know if she is being an actress or if she's actually this self-centered and horrible. I kind of hope that she's being an actress. I actually had a subscriber message me on Instagram last night, an interview with Crystal that I'm going to link down below, so check it out after this video, like recapping the episode last week with Lisa Schwartz, Listbug, the girl that dated Shane Dawson, and she acts normal. Her voice is almost completely normal. She is speaking in a normal animated way. She's not whispering. She's laughing. She's cracking jokes. She's acting like a fucking human instead of like a robot possessed by Satan. So everyone please check that out after this video, or click right now, open it in a new tab so you don't forget about it, just so you can assess her behavior and come back to this video, comment below, let me know, do you think she's a full of shit actress? Because after seeing that clip, I'm a little taken aback because she never acted like that for even 1 second on The Bachelor. So Crystal's being a stuck-up cunt. She's not worried at all because she thinks she has this in the bag, because she actually genuinely believes that she is the best girl of all the girls on the show, which is just delusional, which I think Kendall said at one point that Crystal's living in a delusion, like in her head. Her idea of reality is not what everyone else is experiencing, which is literally the definition of having borderline personality disorder. Like literally watching her behavior, like I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, obviously. I'm about to graduate with a bachelor's of science in fucking tech shit. But her behavior is whack. Like she literally acts like she's living in a fucking fantasy in her brain that she thinks everyone else is living in, but everyone else is in the real world. It's almost a little alarming. So Kendall and brown-haired curly bitch, who I just learned last night is named Jacqueline. Literally, for all 6 weeks of the show, I did not know this girl's name until last night. I've been calling her Owl all season because she has huge fucking eyeballs and a teeny tiny little bird beak nose. I've just called her Owl this whole fucking time. I literally had no fucking clue what the fuck her name was, with a gun to my head or offering me $1 million. All you have to do is tell me Owl girl's name. Couldn't fucking tell you. That's how irrelevant she is. So Owl and Kendall are like, fuck us. God fucking damn it. One of us is gonna have to go on this 2-on-1 with Crystal. Unfortunately for Kendall, she was chosen, which is good though, because Kendall, as strange as she is, I don't like Kendall. I think she's smart, and I think the way she handles situations and approaches people and talks about situations is smart, and I think she's smart, and I like how she handled Crystal on the date. I like her brain, but her as a person, I'm not a huge fan of her. I can't get over the ukulele playing, taxidermy collecting fetish thing. I think she's just a little too hippie strange for my taste. But if it has to be her or the Owl versus Crystal, like this is the Bachelor Hunger Games, bitch. I'm sorry, Owl. You ain't gonna survive. We need someone a little stronger in the ring. So they go on this 2-on-1. I don't know, they go to fucking winery, something fucking stupid. All they do is they sit there together, they talk together, they hug each other, and then one goes off to talk, one goes off to talk, whatever. Crystal, of course, goes off to talk and spends half her time talking about the fact that last week she pissed off Ari by being a fucking psycho bitch about the bowling. And she admitted in the interview with Lizbug that I'm going to put down below that if she'd been on the losing team and the losers had been invited back as they were, she wouldn't have cared, and she would have been happy that she would have got to come back as a loser. So she admitted that she was being a selfish fucking cunt, basically. So you gotta check that out. Anyway, she's spending half her time talking about that, which obviously is re-putting in Ari's head these negative thoughts about you that maybe he was finally getting over after your meltdown last week. And then the other half of the time, she just starts talking about how she doesn't think Kendall's ready for marriage because, like, she's never been in love before or whatever the fuck. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? A lot of people, for the first time falling in love, just marry that person, you know? Like, you don't have to be in love a certain amount of times before you get married, Crystal. I didn't know that was a certain rule book for life, Crystal. I forgot that you were God, Crystal. Anytime that you take your personal time to grow your relationship, talk about your feelings with the Bachelor, Bachelorette, and you talk shit about someone else in the house, you only make yourself look bad. This has been a common theme on this show, and also it's just a common theme of life. If you ever talk shit about someone to another person, you look bad. You look like a person that likes to talk shit, so you look bad. You don't make the other person look bad. You make the other person look good for being like nice and sensitive enough to not be a shit talker while you're clearly a shit talker. So Crystal's just making herself look bad, but she thinks she is like Queen Bee, killing the game. She thinks that Kendall is never even going to be close to whatever she is. Then Kendall gets her time. Kendall spends 0 time talking about Crystal and just talks about how even though she hasn't been in love before, she does think that she's ready for marriage for X, Y, and Z because Ari had to tell her, hey, Crystal made me feel like maybe you weren't serious about this because she spent time talking shit about you. So then Kendall goes back to Crystal and is like, hey, I kind of heard that you were spending your time talking shit about me. What's that about? And Crystal was just like, I don't know. It's just because because I don't have a lot of brain cells and I don't know how to do anything but talk shit about people because I'm a bad person. And then Kendall basically was like, I forgive you that you're like this. I don't know why you're like this, but I have empathy for you because clearly you have some anger or pain going on that you have acted the way you've been acting for this whole fucking season, you psychotic bitch. Or you're an actor from LA who's acting like a psycho bitch, but either fucking way, no one likes you. Ari comes back from wherever the fuck he was, taking a shit by a tree. Like, where are you? Like, why are the girls alone having to hang out, talk to each other for so long? Like, what the fuck were you doing? Like, obviously the producer's like, just hang back here with us. We need them to hash this out for a little bit. Like, he's like, sorry that I kept you waiting so long. Like, where the fuck were you? Were you actually taking a shit? Like, this doesn't even make sense. Where the fuck were you? And of course, he's like, I can't make my decision yet. Which really just means there's actually another part of the state. That's why we're gonna go to another room that's gonna be set up fancy and sit there and drink wine and eat food together. So I can't pick you yet because the producers have something else set up, but I'm just gonna say that I can't make up my mind yet, even though I clearly have my mind made up because it's basically choosing an angel or a fucking devil. Who the fuck you gonna choose? So they go to their fucking dinner and they fucking talk to each other again. I don't really remember what the fuck they talked about, or when, or if they even went off to talk again separately, or what the fuck was happening, because at this point, I was not sober, and I was just like on the edge of my seat, literally hyperventilating because I just needed him to fucking get rid of Crystal. Like, I literally was like, if they don't get rid of Crystal, I'm gonna be actually mad because for the past 2 episodes, she's been pissing everyone off and everyone has wanted her to be kicked off. But you've kept her around for the sake of television. But at this point, if you get rid of someone who has a brain to keep someone that's a horrible person that talks in a fake whisper, you just make yourself look fucking bad. So he has the rose and he's like, okay, I'm ready, Kendall. And I literally, you guys, hyperventilating into my hands, gasping, screaming, couldn't fucking believe it. Amazing. Crystal doesn't even give a fuck. She doesn't cry. She doesn't pull Ari to the side to have a talk with him about what went wrong. She just sits there like, that's weird. That's so weird. Someone doesn't think I'm perfect. I just look in her head, she was like, wow, you don't want me, you fucking piece of shit, Ari. I didn't even like you. I just wanted to make it this far on TV. Like, she had no sadness, no reaction. She like didn't give a fuck. You know why? Because she's an actress. Kendall gets to say, all the other girls back at the house see that Crystal's bag is removed and everyone's ecstatic. Best day ever. One of the bitches literally pops a bottle of champagne. And still, after all of this, there is a one-on-one left with Owl, aka Jacqueline. They go on their date. I for sure think she's gonna be kicked off. I didn't even know her fucking name until this point. I honestly don't think she's attractive, but Ari actually likes her. He's like, I think she's so smart. I think she's so beautiful. I'm so attracted to her. I think she's too good for me. Like, he actually fucking likes her, and I don't get it because she looks like a fucking owl and she's boring. I didn't even know her name. You're not relevant. What the fuck? But he actually kept her around. He was like, oh my god, like, I do fucking like you. I really want to fucking keep you. And like, at this point now, they're down to like, what, max 8 women? And this owl is still around? I was floored, you guys. I literally don't see what he sees in her. Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I just, like, nothing about her to me is enticing. Physically, emotionally, mentally, I just like, no, I'm Jacqueline, I just fucking cannot. And then again, even after all of this, there is still a fucking rose ceremony at the end where he can eliminate people, and he finally got rid of Eyebrows, aka Jenna. So Eyebrows goes home, thank God, goodbye. And then Chelsea goes home, which is like kind of out of nowhere, but also she's been so irrelevant. Like, since she got the first impression rose and seemed like she was going to be the villain, she's been super irrelevant, like flying under the radar, hasn't had a lot of interviews, kind of forgot that she existed. But honestly, if you're going to wear a little black dress that is poofy as fuck, that looks like something I would wear to my 6th grade homecoming, yeah, you're probably gonna get kicked off. I couldn't believe it. In one episode, we got rid of Chelsea and Crystal. So let me know what y'all think of this recap. Let me know what you think of Crystal and Chelsea going home. Let me know what you think of Owl Girl. Let me know what you think of everything and everyone, because I'm shook, y'all. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your week. I love you, and yeah, bye guys.